So we're going to answer balloon had things to figure out by itself in a calm, confident way. And we're going to know it to be the truth. We're also going to accept that whilst we didn't go to the extents of snail, we have been possessive. We didn't want to let balloon go. We'll accept that. I wasn't enough for balloon. I don't know if I'm ever going to accept that, because being enough isn't what I even wanted in the first place. Partnership, going on a journey together. It's not some sort of competition, being enough. I feel that I have a lot to offer, me personally. Now talking, it's weird the way I'm trying to talk about circle, but I have to relate it to my thoughts about relationships. So I do feel that I've got a lot to offer, fairly confident in that aspect. And I do feel that there are some deficiencies in the social standard of what a relationship should be that I don't offer, but then don't care to. So, yeah, I don't know. Not enough for some balloon. Balloon didn't ask me to be enough either. It didn't say. It just said, look, I'm going to have to do this on my own. So, yeah, no, I'm all right with that. But I can see how this I'm not enough is definitely a feeling that I've had before in the past. Not about the way the balloon relationship worked, about a different style of relationship maybe. But like I said, I think that's about perspective and time in life. So we're going to answer, balloon still had things to figure out by itself. We're facing depression and the void, and we've decided that there's nothing really deeply wrong with ourselves, that our circle can push on in our adventure and seek its own happiness. You will never meet anyone. It's like I didn't think that was coming. I thought that our strident confidence would beat back depression, who does seem a little cowed. Now, but angered. I don't mind if depression's angered. We can anger depression. Perhaps not. I might just be an imperfect circle, but I do feel I've come a long way. I agree with both of those. Perhaps not. I might not meet the perfect person. I might not meet the perfect attachment to my circle, and it might be okay. I might just be an imperfect circle, but I do feel I've come a long way. I agree with that. I might not be perfect. In fact, I don't ever expect I will be, but just moving forward and coming a long way is good. Why don't you just succumb to me? I'm here, waiting. Well, you'll always be there waiting. And I just know deep in my heart that the true reality of life is not to succumb to that. That's always there as the worst case scenario. But we can drive through some worst cases before we get to that. Ready. Always. There is meaning. Yeah, of course there's meaning. Sharing. Making things more positive. It's been difficult as it's been so far. It's also been wonderful. Exactly, that's my point. And now I've confronted anxiety. Oh, this is anxiety. This isn't just depression. This is anxiety. I think I can deal with it. Yes and no. I think a good message in the game, a good message and an overt message, one they've signposted here. They've stuck a big flag in the map to say, this is the anxiety and you can deal with it if you confront it. They're giving a positive message to the people playing. But also, I think in the way the game has drawn us through this journey of discovery about our feelings towards others and how we relate to them, by pushing us through a journey where we relate to others and then questioning us about it. Yeah, I think the game is fantastic for what it has done, but to assume that we've dealt with anxiety without giving us any concrete evidence or strategy is a little bit... Yeah. There are concrete strategies to deal with anxiety. We talk about them in Mental Health Monday. And the general point that if you confront it, you can deal with it is true. But merely facing your anxieties head on... we'll do a quick big face for this. Once upon a time, and I'll just say this quickly. Once upon a time, when I was feeling much more anxious, this is way before any of this internet stuff, when I used to do hairdressing, the doctor gave me some tablets to help with my sleeping anxiety, and they were sort of only a short-term prescription just to help you get to sleep. And what they did, as you fell asleep, they made the effect of the tablet made you feel confused, hallucination style confused, because they were a sleeping medication sort of thing. So I was feeling anxious one night and I took one of these tablets, and the television downstairs was keeping me awake. So instead of sleeping, I was actually still kind of awake, and I was confused. And my anxiety was something about, there was an argument, it was a soap opera on the television. Quickie big face, quick little big face. There was a soap opera on the television, and the argument in the soap opera was playing in my mind as if it was people in the garden that were arguing, and it was me they were arguing about. They were angry at me, and so my anxiety was increasing. And I was supposed to be getting to sleep without feeling anxious. This is why I wanted this little tablet to help. So thanks very much. We didn't continue with these tablets. The doctor said probably just leave them if they're not helping. But anyway, this happened. So talking of facing anxiety, this is me all over. I'll tell you another story as well after this one. But facing anxiety, I jumped out of bed in my boxers, in my old boxer shorts, jumped out of bed, ran downstairs, grabbed my dog, because my dog at this point was the bitey dog, so the scary dog, grabbed the dog, put him on his lead, got a knife from the kitchen, and went out in the garden. And my mum was there. She was like, "What are you doing? Come in the house. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "These people are arguing about me, and I'm going to..." I'm not... To face my anxiety, for me, meant to face it head on like that. And okay, come what may. Dog and knife, dog and shield. Whatever, let's go do it. I don't know if that's a good idea. It wasn't a good idea at the time. My anxiety wasn't real. It was a hallucination. I went back to bed. She turned the telly down. We were all right. Everything was fine. And another anxiety I had, or have, sometimes we talked about in Mental Health Monday, that tightness of your chest might feel like you're having a heart attack. You get the panic attack from that. It's like an anxiety response makes you feel that you're having a heart attack, and that makes you more anxious. Whenever I feel that, I run up and down the stairs, because someone who's having a heart attack would, like, running up and down the stairs would do for you, wouldn't it? Like, it would do for you. So I face it head on, and I say, look, if I'm that anxious about this thing, I'm going to test it, I'm going to push it, and if it is a heart attack, then I'm going to have to call the ambulance from on the floor, because I'm not going to sit here feeling anxious for half an hour and worrying. And then obviously I've run up and down the stairs. Obviously, you don't say obviously, that's naughty. Because I've run up and down the stairs, then I'm a bit more out of breath, a bit more, it's taken me into a different place. It's actually good for my anxiety control to be doing something mindful like exercise, and I know it's not a heart attack. But I'll face it head on. I'll just go right at it. And knowing that it's scary isn't something that's going to preclude me from doing it. In fact, people get on roller coasters. They know it's scary. They enjoy it. I'm not a thrill seeker in that sense. I'm not going to go out and like pick a fight with someone to have the fun of getting my face smashed in. But certainly I'm not going to let my life be controlled by fears and anxieties that I can face down head on. So I do agree that you can control them by facing them head on. But in both of those examples, I don't know if the facing it head on, I think knowing you can face it head on helps, but I think they're not the strategies that help you calm down. Can someone be having a heart attack for 30 minutes? I'm not a doctor. honest to God, right? I'm not a doctor. So please, ASMR Jesus, praying to ASMR Jesus here, do not let anybody have an actual heart attack and follow my advice and make it worse. If you think you're having a heart attack, running up and down the stairs is bad advice. It will probably, like, if you really were having one, you probably want to sit down, rest, and call an ambulance. But I don't know. That's a different stream and story. We will have to find cardiac advice from someone reputable. But me, I'm not a cardiologist. But I do know from experience that it is possible. I mean, God, I've tempted fate now. I'll probably find a stressful moment in Journey of the Circle and my ticker will go pop. But what I do know from experience is that people who feel anxious, people who have anxiety issues, that then feel anxious about a heart attack. In my limited experience, it's not just me, it's other people I've talked to who have this thing. It's more a condition of the anxiety and less a cardiological issue. And we're fortunate now, actually, in today's day and age, that we're approaching a point where we can get your Fitbits and your watches and your ECGs, and we can measure our hearts more accurately than we can actually measure our nervous state. So we can confirm that it might not be. We've gone on a right tangent here. That was the big face. Just saying about confronting anxiety, wasn't I? That was all I was doing. Where have we gone now? I think I can deal with it. And I will be moving on. Don't you try and stop me. I added a word there, don't try and stop me. I should stick with the true text of the narrative. But they put a double exclamation mark and I don't approve of that. Bye-bye anxiety. If only life was that sweet that my anxiety would fade like smoke. My anxiety, I did it again. We talked about that in Mental Health Monday. It's not my anxiety. It's not me. It's not part of me. It's just a thing. Anxiety is a feeling. I guess it's a matter of perception or belief. Perceptions and beliefs. And just move the screen so it's nicely balanced because the black lines at the top and bottom are just good, nicely balanced. There we go. Not a cardiologist. I could be. Just give me 10 years of med school. It's really been quite the ride. Who would have thought all this would happen when I decided to roll out on this journey? Yeah, I totally agree. I guess you never know. And what they're doing here again, where the road will take you, we're giving... But to climb with Sticky, to fly with Balloon, to roll with Perfect, to overcome angst. They're giving us time to think about these things. Wow, in a very pretty place with these. All in all, I think I did pretty well. Yeah, you see, it's not been so bad. And the way the trees are moving, it's giving us this sense of, for an incomplete circle, of distance from the circle, but of being in the same environment. Look, like we're in the forest now. These things are moving past our vision, giving us that sense of depth. They haven't been before. We haven't had this interruption. We've had the clear view. It's the aesthetics have been toned back to allow the characters, the main players, the things that we're doing, the platforms to stand out. But here we're being, and us, the player, is being pushed slightly further away from circle. You see that? How we now are taking a slightly more third-person view, if that can be said. It's like directing in film. It's like directing in film, use of camera in games. And I believe this is a clever use of a camera device, of distance, of having things moving across to give us that distance from the character that we felt is connected to us all this way. Separation. Yeah, I think that's maybe a thing that's happening here. I like it. Very zen, just rolling along. Just up this little hill. I can still jump. What are we coming to next? I assume we will come to something next, and that won't just be the end. A salty breeze. It feels nice. Look, the sea! No, I hope it doesn't keep talking. I'm not going to touch controls because, again, I'm going to do some talking. But isn't it lovely? If you live by the sea, you don't get to experience this as often. But going to the sea from somewhere where you don't live by the sea, like where I live, going to the sea, that first sight of the sea, as you see it over the horizon, as you round a corner, that first sight of the sea, and it's vast and it just goes on forever, and you're there and you've arrived, and it's the sea. I love the sea. it's so powerful, vast, and almost incomprehensible when you're young. It just goes on, doesn't it? And I say powerful. You can't just swim out there and mess about. You're dragged under, dragged off. It's dangerous. It's deep. You can get to a point in the sea where if you're a reasonable swimmer, you're allowed to swim out a bit, and you put your feet down. You can't even touch the bottom. But not like a swimming pool where you can't touch the bottom because you know it's 200 meters. You can go down and get the brick. Like you don't even know what's down there. I've been out on boats where you jump off a boat and swim in the sea, and to be honest, that really freaks me out because it just goes on forever, doesn't it? And what's under and out there, I don't know. I can't. It's power. It's waves. You feel the energy moving, and you think it's stuck calm and it's powerful. Yeah, and then the anger of the sea and the storms, the waves, the breaks, the vast power of it. What it can, that end of things blows my mind. The depth, the trenches. The life within the sea, that blows my mind. Yeah, I love the sea. Big on the sea. And look at this part of our journey now. We've come to the sea. Yay! Isn't it delightful? Look at that kite. They've managed to give it the impression of wind just with a simple device like a kite. It's brought the scene to life. Little seagulls just floating about down there, but really nice. We're talking about the game as a piece of art, so I want to make it clear when I talk about the art in the game, separate to that, just the choice of art style, the choice of palette, the art in that more traditional description of the word. I love that choice to use those floating kites like that to show the wind. They really make me feel that breeze holding them up. Hey, I'm circle and I'm square. This doesn't sound like it's going to be a good fit. I've never seen the sea before. It's pretty amazing. Stay here for hours just looking at it. Two shapes on a beach. What do you think it means? Actually, square's all right. We don't have to fit and go together, do we? We can just be friends. I think it means that the ending is open. Anything could happen. Let's roll on together and see what's out there. Sure, sounds like a plan. What? I'm just pushing square along. Square implied this was the end. Oh look, square's coming with me. Square can just do its own. Look, square's got a bounce. Oh, that is the end. Oh, I feel a little bit sad. Do you feel a little bit emotional? It's like the ending of the Shawshank Redemption. I'll tell you something about that in a minute. I'll just tell you my instinctive feelings about this ending while I'm capturing them, while it's real and happening. I feel emotional. I feel a little bit sad. And I feel that because I think the whole point that we've been talking about all the way along is about this driving towards this perfect circle, this concept that the circle will be complete. And at the end, the circle is not complete. And there's a little bit of sadness in that, a little bit of tragedy. But yet there is hope. And the circle is just bouncing off. And they drifted into our view, again, maybe it's because I've worked in film before, but the ideas, the way the camera is used, I'm feeling quite strongly at the end of it. They pulled our view up to the horizon, and the circle and the square went off their own way and disappeared out of our view. They pulled us away again from their story. We have to leave that, like in the same way as this game has been about separation and loss. We have to leave them and go on our own journey at the end here. We learned something and we let it go. Maybe I'm feeling sad because I spent like a year and a half in the house and 2 people I know have died of COVID. But maybe it's just that I'm an emotional wreck. But no, I do think it had a decent ability to create an emotional feeling at the end there. And we're talking, bear in mind, we're talking about a circle, and maybe it's because your playthrough, when I played it with my hands and did it, and when you watched it, you watched me getting cross when I couldn't get up those clouds. But no, I'm joking. I didn't get cross. The game didn't make me feel cross overall. It made me feel happy. Lovable Hat Cult. It's made me feel introspective, but hopeful. It's made me feel happy that somebody has made such an interesting game for interesting reasons. It's made me feel that I should serve, even though the point of the game, in a way, I'm allowing these credits to roll, I'm not covering them over my big face, even though, oh, they're just attribution, right, let's go my big face. Even though made with Unity, cheeky. Even though the point of the game was to say that you don't have to break your mind about trying to fix yourself so that you're right for this perfect person, that relationships work a lot better when you go with the flow and accept things for what they are. Accept when they work and accept when they don't. Be hopeful of new experience and willing to try things, but don't let yourself be part of a combination that's not working for you. You know, those sort of ideas I feel are quite prominent, and yet it makes me feel at the end like I should work on myself to make myself better so that I could meet a perfect partner and achieve what the circle didn't, in a way, which is weird. Maybe that's my own problem in my own psyche, because I do have a problem with my own feeling of self-worth, I'm sure. So maybe that's what I've taken from it. Maybe you take something different from it. But Journey of the Broken Circle is not going to get reviewed right now by me. I'm just talking about my feelings. But we do want to have a chat about it. And it's 7:30 on Sunday. It took us a little bit longer. So I'll keep talking about ideas now, but we'll let it settle. I will watch and review our playthrough when I edit it, and then I'll upload the shorter edits with all the bits of nonsense taken out to Battery Exhausted. The full-length, unedited version will go on IndieCade YouTube channel, IndieCade YouTube channel, and we can reflect on it